All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on a massive crisis that's hiding in plain sight, unfolding right there on our screens. It's a high-stakes game, it's powered by some seriously smart algorithms, and it's grabbing the attention of millions and millions of people all over the world. So I want you to think about something. If you had to guess the fastest growing search trends on the entire planet, what would you pick? Politics? Some new gadget? A big celebrity drama? Well, the real answer is something else entirely. And honestly, it's pretty worrying. Okay, take a look at the data. These are some of the biggest breakout search terms on Google in the last month. The top one, slot, that's Thai for slot, is up more than 2,000%. You heard that right. Others like Toto 20 and a Turkish search for sites giving trial bonuses are just blowing up. But here's the real kicker. More than half of the top 25 rising global searches all lead back to one thing. This is not a fluke. It's not a coincidence. What we're actually seeing is a highly coordinated, viral marketing campaign that's jumping across borders and languages. It's like we're watching a digital pandemic unfold in real time. Let's dig into what this search data is really telling us. You know, this is anything but random. The strategy here is actually brilliant in a scary way. They're targeting people in their own languages: Thai, Indonesian, Turkish. They use universal tempting words like win or bonus, but they also get super local, using slang like gacor. That's an Indonesian word that basically means a slot machine that's hot or frequently winning. And get this, to sneak past online filters, they disguise their websites, mixing gambling terms with normal words. It's a clever, deliberate, and incredibly effective strategy. So this huge digital wave is more than just a tech issue. It's on a full-on collision course with some really deep-seated cultural and moral values. For a lot of the countries in the crosshairs, places like Indonesia and Turkey with huge Muslim populations, gambling isn't just illegal, it's considered fundamentally wrong. And the reason why goes way back. It's rooted right here in the Quran, the central holy book of Islam. It very clearly forbids gambling, putting it in the same category as things like intoxicants, and calls it the work of Satan. You know, this isn't just a friendly suggestion, it's a direct command seen as totally essential for a good life. The core principle behind this is a concept called al-maisir. It's a really powerful idea. Basically, it defines gambling as any time wealth is transferred unfairly, where for you to win, somebody else has to lose, and nothing of real value is actually produced in the process. It's seen as a zero-sum game that only destroys. It doesn't build anything. Okay, so that's the principle. But how does this play out on the ground? Well, this idea of unjust wealth isn't just an abstract concept. It has a real, devastating human cost. And you won't find a clearer or more tragic example right now than in Indonesia. Just try to wrap your head around this number. In Indonesia alone, there are an estimated 8.8 million people who are active online gamblers. That's more than double what it was just a year ago. The sheer scale of this it's just staggering. And here's the economic black hole that this is creating. The amount of money circulating in this underground economy is expected to hit 1,200 trillion rupiah. I mean, that's a gigantic chunk of the country's entire national budget just being vacuumed out of the real economy and into the pockets of offshore syndicates. And this is where the trap really snaps shut. Of those millions of players, nearly half of them, that's 3.8 million people, have had to take out loans from online lenders to keep playing. And a lot of these lenders are illegal loan sharks. This is exactly how that destructive cycle of debt begins. So you see, in the end, this is so much more than just a game. It's a full-blown crisis for society. It's fueling depression, it's ripping families apart, and it's eroding the whole idea of a national work ethic by selling this fantasy of getting rich quick instead of putting in real productive effort. So with this crisis getting worse and worse, governments in the region are finally starting to wake up. They're not just standing by anymore. They're starting to mobilize a real top-down response to try and push back against this digital flood, and they're fighting back on all fronts. Turkey is going after the websites, blocking over 233,000 of them this year alone. Indonesia has launched a special task force to tackle the problem, Malaysia is rushing to update its old laws, and Pakistan is cracking down hard on betting companies. The battle lines have definitely been drawn. But, just blocking websites isn't enough to solve a problem this deep. The real fight, the way a lot of people are starting to see it, is a battle for the mindset of an entire generation. It comes down to a choice between two totally different ways of thinking about work, about effort, and about value, and this really makes the choice crystal clear. On one side, you've got slot gakor, the big gamble. It's all about passive luck, and it leads to a destructive cycle that just drains resources. But on the other side, you have what people are calling skill halal, which is all about sustainable, ethical work. It's a path of active effort, of real growth, and of building something that actually has value. So what does this skill-based economy actually look like? Well, a perfect, tangible example is the rise of the virtual assistant. It's a real job, a flexible profession where you provide actual services to clients. It takes effort, it takes learning, but what you get in return is a sustainable, ethical, or halal income. It's the complete opposite of just sitting there waiting for a lucky spin, and that brings us to the most important question of all. This is a battle for our focus, for our attention, for our values. The algorithms on our screens are powerful. They're literally designed to get us hooked on the promise of instant gratification. The question we have to ask is, can our own inner algorithm, one that's built on hard work, on patience, on creating real value, can that prove to be more powerful in the end? That, right there, is the gamble we all face.